music mindset on the airways tonight. Dropping wisdom heavy, groove feeling right. It's the music mindset, vibe that feels so right.
All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Hey, I got a lot to get into, but let me say something right off the top. I want to thank all you guys that continue to watch the videos to help me build this channel. I have fun doing it, and I hope you have fun watching it. And one of the things that's happening right now, YouTube has this auto dubbing thing going on. I see people complaining about. If you see me speaking in a different language and you don't like that, please let me know in the comments, because I heard myself on one of the videos and I was like, whoa, what is this? You know. Anyway, we're getting into Sade tonight, man. Let me tell you a quick story, what happened to me, how I got introduced to Sade. All right, we're back in the mid-1980s, and I got a sister of mine. I got two sisters. My youngest sister, I was kind of getting on her nerve. You know, I was thinking I knew everything at that time, trying to go to school, going to college and stuff like that. And I was getting on her nerves so bad that she just looked at me and she said, hey, man, you need to take a chill pill. And I just looked at her strange, and then she reached into her purse and she handed me a cassette tape. And that was it was a cassette tape of Sade, her first tape that she had out. And she just got in the car. My sister got in the car and she just drove away and left me standing there. And, you know, of course, I had to go and try to listen what this was all about. So I go take the tape, put it in the machine, and I'm like, man, I've been hooked ever since. Sade's music is incredible. It does change your mood. It does make you a more chilled person. Everything that she does is chill. I got a lot to talk about in this video. It's kind of long, but you're going to know everything that you need to know about her. My two favorite songs, the songs I think put on the map, Sweetest Taboo and Smooth Operator. We're going to break those songs down, the components that make that song up. And then we're going to tell all the stuff that happened that most people talk about and they get wrong about her life and her children and things that are happening. It's going to be kind of deep. So hang on to the end and I'll see you at the bottom. Thanks a lot, guys, for hanging in there.
This may come as some surprise.
And it might be a surprise to a lot of folks too.
Oh, well, I was christened Helen Fola Sade, and my Nigerian family, because I had my first few years in Nigeria, there's no way they're going to call me Helen. It's an English name, you know. They decided that I was Sade, so I've always been Sade.
Sade Adu, man, let me tell you something. This lady doesn't just sing, she commands. From the first note, you feel her presence, her control. Every pause, every breath, every little flick of a note, that's intentional. Hey, that's mastery. And if you really want to understand why she's still untouchable decades later, we've got to start from the beginning, and we're going to break it down. Sade was born Helen Fola Sade Adu on January 16, 1959 in Ibadan, Nigeria. Her dad was a Nigerian economics professor, mom an English nurse. They met in London, moved to Nigeria, had Sade, and then just split. It happens like that sometimes. By the age of 4, Sade was in England with her mom and older brother. Essex became her playground, her school of life. She studied at Colchester Institute and then went on to St. Martin's School of Art in London for fashion design. And with that sense of style, that elegance, it would also become part of her music.
A friend of mine had a group that had 2 backing vocalists. One of the singers left and they had a concert coming up and he asked me if I could sing. So I said, oh, I'll attempt to. So I auditioned for the band. They initially turned me down and then came crawling back to me. When they couldn't find anybody better, they came back.
Her first real step into the singing game came in the early 80s as a backing vocalist for the band Pride. That's when she met Stuart Matthewman, who was a guitarist and saxophonist. And boom, they just clicked. They started writing together, the band Sade was born, and the rest is history. And part of that history are 2 songs that set her off to be what I think is a star. Yeah, let's first start with that one. So let's talk about Smooth Operator. That hit said it all. It came out in 1984 on the Diamond Life album. This song is cinematic. It's like a movie you hear with your eyes closed. It sits in the key of D minor and was recorded close to 120 beats per minute in 4/4 time. David Early chopped down the drums and percussion by pulse, not by punch. Yeah, and that bass line right there was played by Paul Denman. It was definitely smooth, just enough to ground you in the song. And then you had Andrew Hale's keys floating like mist all around it. And that sax I know you recognize. That was Stuart Matthewman. Man, that thing glides and whispers secrets straight to your soul.
Diamond light.
And right on top of all of that flavor was Sade's voice. She wasn't trying to show off. She didn't need to. It was about the groove and the voice to go with it. She was still kind of new at this, so no big runs, no theatrics.
Coast to coast, LA to Chicago.
When she sang that, even if you didn't get the lyrics at first, you felt the story, the danger, the allure. Her whole flow here was powerful. Hey, this song went to number 5 on the Billboard Hot 100, number 1 adult contemporary, and over 1 million copies sold worldwide. But the magic isn't just in the numbers, it's in the craft. In the music world at that time, there were a lot of pop artist wannabes. Sade's stuff was totally different. Her band's effort and time put into the arrangement, tone, timing, mood, they all hit like a master class. This track taught the world elegance beats out flash every time. But that wasn't going to be it. Sade had more. That's when she came back with this hit.
You give me the sweetest taboo.
The Sweetest Taboo in 1985 from the album Promise. This track, man, it's a lesson in subtle seduction, recorded in B minor at around 92 beats per minute in 4/4 time. The big thing about this song was the drum intro. Every drummer back then was trying to learn it, and even today, it was on fire, man, and set the tone for the groove. David Early and Martin Ditcham on the drums kept it sensual with a hypnotic pulse and pocket. Matthewman's guitar licks curled through like smoke on a lake. Denman's bass once again anchors without dominating. And the brass parts were played by Terry Bailey on trumpet and Pete Beachill on trombone. That added the right color without crowding out the floor of the song.
If I tell you now.
And your girl Sade's vocal delivery here, whispered, sultry, controlled. That's seductive and emotional at the same time. You feel every word. This song hit number 5 on the Billboard Hot 100, number 1 on adult contemporary, nearly 1 million copies sold. But beyond the charts, it's a masterclass in musical tension. So now those two songs permanently put Sade in our living rooms, bedrooms, and night drives in the car around town, if you know what I'm talking about. She did another album in 1988 called Stronger Than Pride, but after all that success, hey, for some strange reason, Sade just disappeared for a few years. Well, actually, it might have been because she married Spanish film director Pliego in 1989. Common sense says that took her away for a while. She came back again to us with the Love Deluxe album in 1992 and the smash hit, No Ordinary Love. Man, that thing received a Grammy in 1994. That album also had 2 other favorites, Cherish the Day and Kiss of Life. But she would take a hiatus again, this time for 8 years. I mean, she was a household name and a huge artist, but she essentially vanished from the public, leading to wild rumors. People were saying that she was suffering from drug addiction or had checked into a mental institution because of a nervous breakdown. In reality, she was dealing with her divorce in 1995 from Carlos. And then she turned around the next year and gave birth to her only child in 1996. The baby was a little girl given the name Michaela Ela Adu. The child's father was a Jamaican-born producer named Bob Morgan, but they never got married. The crazy thing is, while living in Jamaica, Sade had a run-in with the law. She and Morgan were stopped by the police, and she was charged with reckless driving and failing to appear in court. A warrant for arrest was issued in 1998, but eventually dropped in 2002. That was craziness. Sade left the country after that incident. Man, Sade had a lot going on, and she had to simply choose to prioritize her personal life over her music, a pattern she needed to repeat throughout her decades-long career. Plus, she wanted to focus on being a mom. After that break, she came back in 2000 with the album Lovers Rock. It was a commercial success. The album also earned Sade a Grammy Award. And she found a new love. As far as we know, Sade has been in a long-term relationship with Ian Watts since 2007. But in 2016, a little drama surfaced when her daughter had grown up and came out saying she wanted to transition into becoming a man, taking the name Isaac Theo Adu. In 2019, Isaac went through gender reassignment surgery. And in April 2021, Isaac married his fiancée, Emily Shakeshaft. These names, man. And Sade has been a rock for her son throughout his entire journey. And taking that further,
You had to carry on.
in 2024, she released a new song, Young Lion, dedicated to him, with proceeds benefiting the trans community. Man, this lady has a biography. Even now, Sade is quietly still influencing culture. Her legacy is untouchable. With the unconfirmed whispers of a 2026 world tour, this thing is keeping her fans on the edge of their seats. Now, here I focused on her life and the two songs that put her on the mountaintop, but I don't want you to think these were the only songs that mattered. So before we go, see if you recognize these gems.
All love is king. I hate you. Oh, I have tried. You think I'd leave your side, baby? You know me better than that. You were mine. I wouldn't want to go. So baby, gonna have your smile.
And don't play with it, man. This was a monster to me when I first heard it in 2010.
I'm in the hinterland of my devotion. I'm a soldier of love.
Soldier of Love was rocking. So what's the takeaway here? Sade didn't just perform, she taught us something. The way she protects her private life, the way she supports her son's journey without fanfare, that's the restraint and maturity. The same elegance you hear in her music. It's not a brand here, it's who she is. Smooth Operator teaches sophistication. The Sweetest Taboo teaches intimacy. Both teach restraint. Every note, every pause, every subtle production choice. It's deliberate. Less is not just more, it's everything. That's Sade. That's why these songs didn't just chart, they became timeless. The rest of her catalog is just as impressive. More than music, they're lessons in style, taste, emotional depth, and the power of subtlety. Hey man, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna tell you, there's a lot of people telling the same story, but I tell you, we went deep with it and gave you as much as we could. I'll be honest with you, one of the hardest thing is to get the photo or image of people like Bob Morgan, who Sade had the kid with, and that guy she's supposed to be with right now. And I tell you, if anybody's got it, you better double check what they got, because it just ain't there. I gave you what you could get. Unless you go to the house and you take your camera and you take a picture of these guys, you ain't getting it. And I mean that when I say that. But what I did show you is what the facts are. And that's a great story. Sade, man, she's incredible. And she's getting older now, 60, almost in her late 60s right now and stuff like that. Still thinking about going on tour next year. Check it out if you get a chance. I appreciate you guys for checking us out on this channel. And I hope to see you in the next video. Give me some suggestions in the comments, or any ideas that are on your mind. Go ahead and do that. Thanks. I'll see you guys next time on the Music Mindset channel.